Husband thought I was just the wife who poured wine. He never asked who paid for the vineyard. The wheels of my suitcase clicked across the marble floor, sharp, deliberate, louder than Andrew's voice had ever been when he claimed to love me. Behind me, he shouted one last time, "You'll be nothing without my name, Claire." I didn't flinch. I didn't cry, not because it didn't hurt, but because the pain had already passed. What I felt now was colder, sharper, like glass beneath the skin that you stop noticing once it's too deep to remove. He stood beneath the vaulted ceiling I helped pay for in the penthouse my equity portfolio helped renovate, wearing the ego ID once protected like armor. And yet, behind the fury in his voice, I saw something new fear, not because I was leaving, but because I finally was. People always assumed I left my high-powered finance career out of love. What they didn't see were the late nights at our kitchen table where I quietly rebuilt his family's crumbling empire, the board meetings I wasn't invited to, the way he introduced me at galas as my brilliant wife and then cut me off mid-sentence. What they didn't hear were the words from his mother, "Andrew thrives with you behind him, never beside, never head." For a while, I believed that love meant shrinking, giving up seats at tables so he could look taller. I handed in my resignation at BlackRock and traded skyscrapers for factories in Detroit, believing I was investing in us. But it wasn't a partnership, it was a performance, and I was the backdrop. The turning point wasn't dramatic, it was dinner on a Tuesday. I asked how the earnings looked. He said, "Let the finance guys handle that, babe." At night, I looked across the candlelit table past his cufflinks and charisma and realized I felt nothing, not even anger, just a bone-deep boredom I couldn't ignore. 2 weeks later, I started packing. Quietly, strategically, while he thought I was folding linens, I was building an empire of my own under a name I never should have given up. Adams. I formed shell companies, acquired logistics firms. I did green tech through a family office he'd never heard of. Every snide remark, every erased contribution, every eye roll bought me time. I was never his shadow, I was the architect, and the merger he thought would save his legacy, he didn't know I owned it. And then the call came, 6:42 a.m., your father's in the ICU, massive stroke. I told Andrew I had to fly to Ohio immediately. He didn't even look up. Can you go tomorrow? Green tech guys come in at 9. That was the moment I knew. He didn't just undervalue me, he never truly saw me. I left that morning, not just the apartment, not just the marriage, but the version of me who waited to be chosen. I sat alone at the airport with a USB drive in my coat pocket. Inside it, every document, every clause, every lever I'd need to burn his kingdom to the ground, quietly, surgically. Because Andrew never understood what I gave up to stand behind him, but he's about to find out who he was standing in front of. What happens when the underestimated wife turns out to be the architect of your downfall? Watch the full story here.